Hello friends, we're back again for another special read aloud today to celebrate a special day. This week we celebrate Earth Day, and our favorite math writer, Stuart Murphy, wrote a wonderful story to celebrate that day. So let's enjoy it now. It's called Earth Day, Hooray! I like the jacket pages because it's all kinds of cans. Looks like soda cans or seltzer water cans that are all empty. Earth Day, hooray. There are those soda cans again. This place is a mess, said Ryan. That's why we're cleaning it up, said Carly. Come on, pitch in. The Maple Street School Save the Planet Club was cleaning up Gilroy Park, the site of this year's Earth Day celebration. They picked up candy wrappers, crumpled newspapers, empty coffee cups, old flyers, lost tennis balls, and lots of aluminum cans. Well, kind of unfortunate that the people in their neighborhood park don't really keep it very neat and clean. Think about that the last time you were at Blue Slide or the park near your house. Did the neighbors help keep it cleaned up? You know, said Ryan, even after we're finished cleaning the park, it won't look all that great. It really could use some flowers at the entrance. Gilroy Park had a few trees and some grass, but that was it. Stuart Murphy put a little sign in the corner that says, in 1999, recycling and composting kept about 64 billion tons of trash from ending up in landfills or being burned, which pollutes the air. If we take all these cans to the recycling center, instead of throwing them away, Ryan continued, they'll give us money for each of these cans. Maybe we can make enough money to buy some flowers to plant. Wow, what a really great idea Ryan had, because they sure did collect an awful lot of cans. Mrs. Watson, the club advisor, thought Ryan's idea was fantastic. She said, if you can get 5,000 cans, that should be enough for some really beautiful flowers. I bet we won't find that many, said Luke. This little squirrel's holding a sign that says, companies pay recyclers about $1 billion a year to buy aluminum. Sure is a lot of money. The club sorted all the cans they found. Ryan, Carly, and Luke filled small bags with 10 cans each. And when they had 10 small bags, they put them in a big bag. And if they have 10 small bags with 10 in each bag, that would hold 100 bags. And that would be easier for them to count. So they ended up with 3 bags of 100, 5 small bags of 10, and they had 9 single cans. So if you have a piece of paper handy or your toolkit in front of you, maybe you can help figure out some of these numbers as we read along. They left the bags near the trash bins so that Mrs. Watson could pick them up that evening. So if they had 3 bags with 100, 5 bags of 10, and 9 bags, what number did they have? You're right, 359. And there is Mr. Pessimist who said, I knew we wouldn't reach 5,000. Are they close? Oh, not quite yet. But the next morning at school, Mrs. Ryan called Ryan, Luke, and Carly to her desk. Bad news, she said. The trash collector at the park didn't realize that those cans were ours and for recycling, and he took them to the dump with the rest of the trash. Oh, I knew it, said Luke. I knew we'd never do it. Don't give up, said Ryan. We can still collect cans. We'll have a can drive right here at school. I don't know, said Luke doubtfully. It will only work if a lot of people bring in cans. So here's Mrs. Watson writing that Americans use more than 80 billion aluminum cans a year. Americans save 247 million pounds of paper every day to be reused and recycled. The custodian, Mrs. Jones, set up a barrel in the hallway, and Luke made a big sign. Mrs. Watson helped Ryan print up a flyer announcing their goal, and Carly drew a cartoon. So look at their wonderful sign that they have at school. It says, Earth Day Hooray! Cans recycled so far, and do you see how they have the numbers here? Help us reach our goal of 5,000 and plant flowers in Gilroy Park. It takes up only 60 days for an aluminum can to be turned in, melted down, and then made into a new can. In the year 2000, Americans recycled more than 1,500,000 pounds of plastic bottles. So wow, that's a lot of water bottles. The next day, a few kids brought in some cans, and after school, Ryan, Carly, and Luke went to check out the barrel. They sorted the cans into bags, and they had 5 small bags of 10 and 6 single cans. So did they collect more or less from when they were at the park? More or less? Oh, they had way less from the park, right? They only had 56 here. And how many did they have when they were at the park? Wow, 359. So there's Luke. You know, we're never going to get anywhere at this rate, he said. So Carly, she wrote 56 on the sign. We need to get more kids to help, she said. So Carly, Luke, and Ryan got permission to visit every class and to ask for help with the drive. Carly worked all night so that she would be ready. And she made, look, this cute little costume that said, "We can do it." And she dressed like a can. And they made some posters, right? And after school, Ryan, Carly, and Luke stopped at every park and every field and picked up every can that they saw. Wow, that was really great. The next morning, Ryan, Carly, and Luke brought their cans to school, and they went by the barrel to drop them off. "Look at all these cans," said Carly. "I knew it would work." At recess, they counted the cans, and they ended up with 6 big bags of 100, 3 small bags of 10, and 5 single cans. That's 635, even more than we had at the park. Carly wrote the total on the sign, and Mrs. Watson walked by. "You're going to need bigger bags," she said. "I'll bring some tomorrow." So what is she thinking they're going to do now? You're right. Probably put those bags of 100. How many do you think they need to collect to put into a bigger bag? 10. You're right. 10 bags of 100 and put those in an even bigger bag. When Ryan, Carly, and Luke checked the barrel the next day, it was overflowing. "We'd better ask Mrs. Jones for some more barrels," said Carly. They had 1 bag of 1,000, 4 bags of 100, and 8 bags of 10 with 3 single cans. Carly wrote the total on the sign and remembered to put a comma between the thousands and the hundreds. So she added their 1,483 to the number that they had yesterday, and now they have 2,174. But there's naysayer Luke, who says that's still a long way from 5,000. Are they halfway there yet? Ryan, Carly, and Luke kept working. Luke put signs up all over the school, and on Saturday, the members of the Save the Planet Club knocked on every door in their neighborhoods. They handed out Ryan's flyers, and they carried big bags for people's empty cans. So I love that they keep writing important posters that said, "Recycling 1 aluminum can saves enough energy to keep a light bulb burning for about 3.5 hours. Wow, that's a really fascinating fact. On Monday morning, Ryan, Carly, and Luke couldn't dump their cans in the collection barrels because they were already full. At recess, they counted cans, and by the time recess was over, they still weren't done. Mrs. Watson said they could skip spelling so they could finish counting. "And you didn't think this was a good idea," Carly teased Luke. So they get to miss spelling class. Finally, they finished. They had 2 huge bags of 1,000, 8 big bags of 100, 5 small bags of 10, and 2 single cans. 2,852 to be exact, says Carly. That's almost 3,000. Luke wrote the number down. When he added them to the 2,174 they had before, it reached 5,026. We did it, Luke shouted. Mrs. Watson took the cans to the recycling center right after school, and on Saturday morning she drove Carly, Luke, and Ryan to the plant nursery. They each picked out flowers in their favorite colors. That afternoon, the whole class came to Gilroy Park for the Earth Day celebration. The first thing they did was plant the flowers at the entrance. The park looked beautiful, and there wasn't a single piece of trash anywhere. So I love this picture of people really getting into Earth Day by planting a tree and by playing games and by dressing up. And so some really great activities to do for Earth Day as well. And you will see at the end of this lesson attached, there are plenty of activities for you to do for Earth Day today. Maybe you want to celebrate with another math lesson, and maybe you can do some of the activities that were suggested at the back of the book. Maybe you want to watch the movie on the Lorax, a wonderful Dr. Seuss video, a movie that he created all for saving the planet and the earth. And attached to that Lorax video is a wonderful math lesson that you can print out this page if you'd like, a picture of the Lorax, and use your pattern blocks inside of your toolkit and see how many pattern blocks you can use to fill in his mustache. One of the other activities that I have listed there is a craft project that you can do that shows the Lorax and his love for the earth and a very famous quote that was in that movie. Perhaps you want to try that craft idea. But there's lots of activities attached with this lesson on Earth Day, and I hope you can celebrate it in a way that Carly, Luke, and Ryan did. So until next time, stay well.